Madam Forelady, has your jury agreed upon a verdict?
Yes.
On count 1, strangulation or suffocation, what is your verdict? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
On count 2, the charge of assault and battery, what is your verdict? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Upon your oath, you say that the defendant is not guilty of the count of strangulation or suffocation and not guilty of the count of assault and battery. So say you, Madam Forelady?
Yes.
So say all members of the jury?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Jurors, please be seated for a moment. Everyone may be seated. Thank you.
Praise God, an innocent black man did not get arrested, go to jail for the lie by an evil, lying, manipulative, controlling, narcissistic woman. And all for what? Because she was jealous that he was taking his other chicks out of town and not her. No evidence, no pictures, no bruises, no nothing. Just the allegation alone is enough to put a man's reputation on the line and destroy it. I mean, the man lost his job in the NFL and everything, which he'll probably get back. Let's see if Jerry Jones wants to pick him up with the Cowboys. But this is why I say we need to hold these liars accountable, because he gets to go on with the rest of his life, but he has to rebuild from this, because this ain't the only thing that he got going on. Meanwhile, she could just go on, live scot-free, and just continue on, la, 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 la. No, where's the accountability for her? Where is her charges at? What's her consequences for lying and wasting the court's time? That's what I need to know.
This video of the chef has been going triple platinum during the Stefon Diggs trial, and honestly, it's kind of diabolical.
And can you just hit pause for a second?
The defense is using this video to say, well, were the injuries ever in the room with nasty work? As of recording this video, the jury has been deliberating for about 45 minutes. And that's honestly longer than I expected. I thought this was going to be a 30-minute verdict, one and done, one way or the other. So the fact that it's taken longer is a good sign. It means they're taking the evidence into consideration. Speaking of which, today the prosecution started their closing argument basically saying, and I may be paraphrasing, over dramatizing just a little bit, yeah, we didn't like her either. She didn't know what she was talking about. She kept arguing back and forth. She kept doing entirely too much on the stand, but you should still believe her anyway.
Was Miss Adams a perfect witness? No. She was argumentative, avoided, difficult. But does that mean you should throw away everything she says? She said no.
And I get what they were trying to do, get ahead of her credibility issues, but it came off a little bit like a disclaimer, like, yeah, we don't like her either. Yikes. Let's rewind and go back to the witnesses, starting with the chef again. The judge had to tell her multiple times to just answer the question being asked. And that can be a problem because, yes, on the one hand, I understand she obviously feels strongly about what happened and she wants her voice to be heard. But if she keeps going outside the scope or talking about things that the judge has already said don't talk about, she's risking a mistrial. And if that happens, this whole thing starts over from scratch and she would have to testify all over again. The chief of staff also testified and she said for dinner, the chef be making shriveled up hot dogs.
You know, if Miss Adams cooked dinner that night?
It was like a hot dog. It was like and there was like mustard on it, but it was like left on the counter and it was like dried up. And then in the room, it was like dried up. So there was like 2 that were made.
But the real point of her testimony was that she was at the house the night the assault happened and she saw the chef shortly thereafter and didn't see any injuries. She actually said the chef was up moving around and even asking for something to put Stefon's gift in. These 2 testified they hung out with the chef after the assault and they both said the chef never mentioned an assault and they didn't see any bruises. In fact, this young lady, the lawyer said, well, you weren't looking for bruises, basically saying like you weren't looking so you didn't see him, you might have missed him. She said, well, she was right in my face. If she had a bruise, I would have seen it.
I mean, you said you didn't see any bruises on her. Were you looking for bruises on her?
No, but she was in my face.
And there's this video. They played it over and over, and the defense is using it to suggest that the chef was fine. She was laughing, kicking, cackling, having a good time after the alleged incident. Now, to be fair, we all know that people process things differently. Just because she looked okay on video doesn't mean nothing happened. I just think that when you stack it against everything else that the jury heard, I don't see it going in her favor. If I'm honest, it is looking like a not guilty in this case.
Where's Joe Buck? We need Joe Buck to come in here and do commentary at the end of this trial, because this definitely reminds me of.
Canham steps into it. Pass is caught. Diggs! Sideline! Touchdown! Unbelievable! Vikings win it!
Now for some wild ass highlights, let's hear some of the craziness that was actually going on during this trial and Shawty's bogus ass testimony.
Responsible for answering questions that are put to you. If you don't understand a question, you can say that, and I'm sure counsel will rephrase. If you can't hear a question, tell them that as well. But courtrooms function in, and especially trials, unfold in a question and answer format. This is not an opportunity for you to interject your own narrative and evade responding to questions the court deems appropriate. And if you continue to do so, your entire testimony may be stricken. Am I clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
When you told Steph's girlfriend on January 1st, 2026.
I don't understand the question. I'm sorry.
I haven't finished my question. When you told Steph's girlfriend on January 1st, 2026, in a written text message, I didn't say that, you were referring to the statements that were reported in the press that you gave to the Dedham Police Department, correct?
I don't understand your question.
Did you or did you not write those words?
I don't understand your question. Without further explaining.
You can't testify under oath to this jury what you meant by the words you wrote to Steph's girlfriend on January 1st, 2026?
I'm sorry, I don't understand your question without further explaining.
You also asked, especially in the way it was written,
yes.
Right? And you were talking about the statement that you made to the Dedham police, right?
It was a voicemail, and I didn't listen. I read it, the transcript, so I didn't know her voice.
When you told Steph's girlfriend on January 1st, 2026...
I don't understand the question. I'm sorry.
I haven't finished my question. When you told Steph's girlfriend on January 1st, 2026, in a written text message, I didn't say that, you were referring to the statements that were reported in the press that you gave to the Dedham Police Department, correct?
I don't understand your question.
Did you or did you not write those words?
I don't understand your question. Without further explaining.
You can't testify under oath to this jury what you meant by the words you wrote to Steph's girlfriend on January 1st, 2026?
I'm sorry, I don't understand your question without further explaining.
You also asked Steph's girlfriend.
Now, this is actually some wild testimony about how this girl actually was overpaid the entire time.
Do you recall receiving an invoice from Ms. Adams on December 1st of 2025?
Yes.
And do you recall what that invoice was for?
It was for 3 weeks of services in November and reimbursable expenses.
Okay. What did you do with that invoice when you received it?
I checked, immediately I knew that it was incorrect because I had paid her weekly for 2 of those weeks. So it raised a flag. I needed to figure out, had I made a mistake or had she made a mistake? And that caused me to look a little bit further into the reimbursable expenses. We're much more structured on the business side, so I usually audit those before paying them.
Okay. So when the flag was raised and it caused you to look a little bit deeper, what did you do to look a little bit deeper?
I pulled up every payment that we had made to her for the last 18 months, as far back as I could go. And then I went through every receipt and reimbursable that we paid her for the last 6 months at that time.
Sorry. And at the conclusion, so would you describe that as a kind of an audit?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you receive an invoice and it's incorrect, I want to know, is it our mistake or was it her mistake? So I wanted to make sure that we had paid her correctly.
All right. And what did you learn from conducting your audit?
That she had submitted receipts multiple times over the course of 6 months, the same receipt. That she had submitted reimbursements for packages sent that were paid by our Federal Express account for reimbursement, that we had overpaid her.
And were you able to quantify the amount of money that she had been overpaid based on your audit?
Yes.
And how much money was that?
I think the total was 2,500 and change at that time, with an additional 744 that maybe was legitimate. I couldn't substantiate because there wasn't a date on it, so that was more in a gray area.
Okay. She's gonna sue him
For what?
for the money that he owes her, and like she gonna take it to the blog. She gonna
Take it to the block?
blogs.
Got it.
Yeah. It was like an hour-long conversation, so it was a lot. So.
Let me start with that.
Oh, sorry.
So, do you remember her saying that she was going to make him pay?
Yeah.
Did Miss Adams, prior to her coming down that night, 1 a.m., and having this conversation with you, did she tell you that she had been assaulted? Did you heard anything about a strangulation and assault?
No.
That night, when she was talking about the suing Mr. Diggs,
Yeah.
did she say that she had been assaulted?
No.
I want to back up down to kind of early in your testimony. You said you have a dash camera. Do you know if Miss Adams cooked dinner that night?
It was like a hot dog. It was like and there was like mustard on it, but it was like left on the counter and it was like dried up. And then in the room, it was like dried up. So there was like 2 that were made.
Let me back you up on that. Do you know if she did cook dinner that night?
She did.
Where did she do that?
In the kitchen.
And what time did you see that?
I just remember the food being like prepared
Okay.
already.
And you mentioned it was a hot dog or something like
Yeah,
that?
it was like a hot dog, or like, you know, like Auntie Anne's when they have like the pretzel dogs. It kind of looked like that, but it just looked dried up.
Bad enough you lied on the man. Bad enough you demanded money from the man. But you couldn't even have the decency to cook him some real food. Just make some old dried up ass hot dogs. Hell nah. I'd have choked her too. No, I'm just playing. But seriously though, happy that he's been absolved of this nonsense. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Should she get the same type of punishment he would have gotten if he had been found guilty?